Hello, my kindred friend. There is a moment of stillness in life when everything around you seems unchanged, but deep within, you know something has shifted. Perhaps it is when you are standing quietly in your familiar kitchen, looking through the window at the afternoon sunlight slowly dissolving on the foliage. You suddenly recognize this body, the devoted companion that has walked with you for decades, now earnestly needing a gentler touch, a more refined appreciation. Amidst a modern society that is always hurried and sometimes harsh toward old age, the wisdom of the Buddha views the twilight years as a ripening season of resilience, a treasure trove of experience, and a compassion deeper than ever before. You are not becoming obsolete, you are becoming more profound and precious with time. Today, I want to pass on to you 7 small but powerful habits. They will help you rediscover your composure, protect your dignity, and create an atmosphere of peace within your own heart. This is a promise of a journey of rebirth and mindfulness, so that you may live your remaining years in the most liberated and fulfilled way. Habit 1. Kinesis to the body. A morning greeting. Dear friend, have you ever woken up and felt a secret resentment toward your own body? When backaches or stiffness in the knees become uninvited guests every morning, it is easy to fall into the trap of judgment. We mistakenly believe the body is an outmoded machine betraying our will. I once knew a friend living in California who spent his whole life working tirelessly to provide for his family. Upon turning 70, he began to loathe his trembling hands and slow feet to the point of avoiding the mirror. But then, he learned a precious lesson from the spirit of Satipatthana, the 4 foundations of mindfulness. He realized his body was not failing. It was simply trying to communicate with him using its most honest language, physical sensations. In the Buddha's wisdom, the body is the first foundation of mindfulness, the most sacred temple sheltering your spirit. Therefore, the first habit I invite you to practice is not high-intensity exercise to force yourself to be healthy, but rather compassionate listening. Tomorrow morning, the moment you wake up, please do not rush out of bed to start your worries. Spend exactly 1 minute lying still, feeling the warmth of the blankets and the quiet beat of your heart. Perform a few stretches, very gently, slowly like the flow of a river. Etch this into your mind. These are not exercises. These are greetings you offer to your body. Just as you would tenderly ask a lifelong soulmate, "How are you feeling this morning?" Let your attention gently permeate every fiber of your being. Before stepping onto the floor, sit quietly and take 3 deep breaths. When you shift your lens from coercion to welcoming, you are sending a peace signal directly to your nervous system. This small kindness is the first medicine for beginning your day in dignity and stillness. Habit 2. Mindful meals, a ritual of self-respect. Try to remember, when was the last time you truly tasted the subtle sweetness of white rice or the rich aroma of a warm cup of tea? In the hurried pace of life, we often have the habit of eating as a task to be finished. We eat while scrolling through phones, while worrying about a bill, or hastily at the kitchen counter. In those moments, we are not truly eating, we are consuming our own stress. Kindred friend, mindfulness in Buddhism teaches that the way you nourish your body is the way you cherish the life within you. This second habit is not just about nutrition, it is about dignity. I want to send a special message to those living alone. Even if you eat by yourself in a quiet kitchen tonight, please still spread a proper tablecloth, arrange your utensils neatly, and light a candle or set out a small flower. Laying the table is not for others to see, but to affirm to your consciousness, I am worthy of being cherished, my presence is valuable. Before taking the first bite, I invite you to pause and take exactly 3 mindful breaths. These 3 breaths are like a mindfulness bell, helping you pull the mind back to the body, shifting your state from hurriedness to receiving. When you slow down your eating, you will see a miracle occur. the fog of anxiety gradually dissipates, making way for a sense of contentment and fullness to seep into every cell. Practice the philosophy of eating until 80% full, leaving a space for breath and the lightness of the stomach. When you stop stuffing yourself to fill the emptiness in your heart, you will find true joy. A mindful meal is a silent declaration of self-respect, that you are living, not just existing. Habit 3. Movement in joy, a flow without a destination. If the first habit is a friendly greeting while sitting still, this third habit is when we invite life to circulate actively. Look at the natural world. A stream that stops flowing becomes stagnant. A breeze that does not blow cannot carry fragrance. Our bodies are the same. They were created to move, to breathe, and to connect with the earth and sky. I deeply understand a secret fear among friends in their twilight years, the fear of movement. We fear the pain will intensify, fear our legs are no longer steady, or sometimes feel insecure, seeing we are no longer as flexible as in our youth. But kindred friend, in the wisdom of mindfulness, movement is not a performance to be graded, but a full participation in the flow of life. I invite you to practice walking meditation. Just 10 to 20 minutes a day is enough. Walk as if you are kissing the earth with the soles of your feet. If your legs are tired, remember that the armchair or the wall nearby are also devoted companions, ready to support you. You can move in place, gently rotating your wrists or stretching your shoulders under the early morning sun. Sunlight not only warms the skin, but is a pure source of energy that soothes anxieties buried deep in your neurons. Remember this sentence to release all pressure in your heart. Movement does not judge where it takes place. Whether you are strolling through a vibrant park or just taking a few slow steps in a small room, the value of presence is exactly the same. When you move without the pressure to achieve anything, every step becomes a liberation, and every gesture becomes a hymn to the life still blooming within you. Let the body flow in its own way, leisurely and free. Habit 4. Keeping the mind fresh, the spirit of beginner's mind. We often mistakenly believe that youth is the season for acquiring knowledge, while old age is the time to close the books and live only through memories. A silent prejudice that the brain is weary causes us to unintentionally limit our own capacity for transformation. But in Zen wisdom, there is a beautiful concept called Shoshin, or beginner's mind. It is the attitude of looking at the world with the clear eyes of a child, where everything is new, full of potential, and not obscured by the prejudices of the past. Kindred friend, mindfulness does not allow the mind to become stagnant. Nourish your brain with seeds of curiosity every day. Do not think you must learn grand things. Sometimes it is just reading a few pages of a wise book, playing a puzzle game, or learning about a new flower in the garden. I once knew a grandmother in Texas, now 75 years old. Instead of retreating into nostalgia, she patiently learned how to use a computer so she could join online Dharma talks and chat with her grandchildren far away. She smiled and said, "Every time I learn something new, I feel as if my soul has just welcomed a cool spring breeze." Maintaining a connection with the community, with the Sangha, or simply sharing precious experiences with the younger generation is also a way to keep the lamp of wisdom shining. When you teach someone, you are practicing giving and simultaneously keeping your thinking flexible. Etch this truth into your heart. A mind that maintains curiosity will never grow old. Age may leave marks on the skin, but a thirst for learning will keep your essence full of life. Do not let yourself become a storehouse of stale knowledge. Be a flowing stream, always renewing yourself in every mindful moment. Habit 5. Caring for the heart, the art of dropping the inner stone. Imagine your soul as a house you have inhabited for over half a century. Over time, the cabinets in that house begin to fill with heavy memories, the pain of losing loved ones, self-reproach for past mistakes, or sometimes silent resentment toward those who once hurt you. We often choose to shut the windows of the soul, avoiding those emotions for fear that if we touch them, we will shatter. However, kindred friend, the wisdom of mindfulness reminds us that suppressing emotions is like trying to hold a ball under the water. the more force you use to press it down, the more intense the underlying pressure it creates within the nervous system. The Buddha once likened resentment to holding a hot coal in your hand, intending to throw it at another. Your own hand is the first to be burned. I invite you to contemplate the metaphor of the stone. Have you ever gripped a stone in your palm all day long to the point of forgetting you are holding it? You no longer see the stone. You only feel your hand exhausted, numb, and tense. Our emotions are the same. We carry pain for so long that we mistake that pain for our identity. Instead of continuing to hold on, I invite you to practice the rain method, a journey of compassion. Recognize. Gently name the emotion. This is sadness. This is regret. Allow. Let that emotion exist. Do not chase it away. Do not judge it. Investigate. Find where that pain is located in your body. In a tight chest or heavy shoulders? Nurture. And finally, whisper to your own heart, I am here with you. Everything will be okay. Remember this, your heart does not need fixing, it only needs to be allowed to feel. When you stop bracing yourself to appear strong, when you courageously open your palm to let the stone of regret fall, you will realize a miraculous relief. The space the pain just left behind will immediately be filled with the light of tolerance and self-born joy. Habit 6. Sacred Rest. The art of entrusting to the darkness. When the curtain of night gently closes and all things begin to sink into silence, I invite you into a space of absolute entrustment. Most of us enter sleep with the mindset of someone going to battle. We fight restlessness. We strive to find sleepiness. And when we cannot sleep, we fall into a whirlpool of anxiety. But kindred friend, in the teachings of the Buddha, sleep is actually a most sacred renunciation. It is the time we courageously let go of all identities, all responsibilities, and even the desire to control our lives. Begin by preparing a peaceful rhythm for your room. Dim the bright lights, move away from phone screens that only bring unnecessary agitation. Once lying settled on your warm bed, perform a journey of gratitude through your body. Silently send thanks to the feet that carried you all day, the hands that held loved ones, and the heart still tirelessly beating for your life. If at this moment your mind begins to script anxious scenarios about tomorrow, silently tell yourself this practical mantra: no decision needs to be made in the darkness. The darkness is not a place to solve problems, but a place for you to melt into stillness. Plans and worries. Please let them wait at the threshold of dawn. And I want to offer a direct word of reassurance to those restless tonight. If sleep does not come immediately, please do not blame yourself. Do not turn having to sleep into a new pressure. As long as you lie still, with gentle breath and a non-resentful mind, that mindful rest carries healing power no less than a deep sleep. Trust in the body's wisdom. Just relax and entrust yourself to the arms of the night. You are safe, and peace is always inherent in your very letting go. Habit 7. Spiritual Connection. Lighting the inner lamp. Entering the autumn of life, do you ever look back at the path you have traveled and ask, after all, what truly remains? At this age, when external glories gradually gather dust and material supports no longer bring absolute security, we often face what the world calls an old age crisis. Yet, through the lens of mindfulness, this is not a gloomy closing. On the contrary, it is a sacred opening. The moment the outer shell cracks, so the light of the spirit can truly shine. I invite you to spend at least 5 minutes every day sitting with absolute silence. This is the time for you to light your inner lamp, learning to rely on yourself instead of seeking validation from the world. Dear friend, please do not fear seeing the sunset gradually falling upon your hair. Contemplate the brilliant image of the sun at the end of the day. It is not growing weaker. It is merely withdrawing all scattered light to prepare for a most dignified return. Or look at the golden leaf falling to its roots. That is not a loss, but a serene journey home to prepare for a new rebirth. Death, or the finiteness of time, therefore, is not a terrifying abyss, but a bridge taking you back to your immortal essence. In the final moments before entering nirvana, the Buddha left an exhortation that has moved hearts for 1,000 years. Be a lamp unto yourself. Be your own light. Regardless of how many ups and downs or heartaches you have experienced, I want you to understand this ultimate truth. Your life itself is the most vivid sermon. The wrinkles on your forehead, the calluses on your hands, and even the silent tears. All are precious pages of scripture about resilience and tolerance. When you cherish your journey, you will find you no longer need any other teacher on the outside. You are the light, the support, and the most peaceful harbor for your own soul. Kindred friend, the 7 habits we have just gone through are not strict rules forcing you to change immediately. Please do not turn them into a new burden for your soul. View them as gentle bridges, leisurely paths leading you back to your own inherent stillness. After so many years of tirelessly caring for the world, now you fully deserve to spend time nurturing and soothing your essence with the greatest appreciation. Taking care of yourself is not selfishness, it is an act of compassion and the noblest dignity in the twilight years. If this conversation has brought you even a moment of relief, I invite you to continue the journey of mindfulness by clicking the subscribe button and sharing a peaceful thought of yours in the comments. May your mind always be bright, your body always be at peace, and every passing day be a rebirth in joy. Goodbye, and see you in mindfulness.